These behaviors feel normal, but that's exactly why they cost you respect. Number 7. The over-explaining. You say no to a dinner invite, and then you keep talking. Sorry, it's just been a long week. Work's been crazy, and I have an early morning. And I already said yes to something else, but that might change. You're not lying. You're leaking. Over-explaining feels polite, responsible, safe. But to the brain listening, it sounds like defense. Psychology calls this perceived competence. The more you explain a simple decision, the less confident you appear making it. Think of it like this. Confident people close the door. Insecure people keep holding it open, explaining why they're closing it. Research from Harvard shows that people who speak concisely are rated as more capable and more trustworthy, not because they're smarter, but because they sound settled. Authority doesn't narrate itself. It states, then stops. I can't make it tonight. That's it. When you add 5 reasons, your brain signals uncertainty, like you're asking for permission after the fact. Power speaks in periods, not parentheses. The irony? The more you talk to avoid being misunderstood, the more doubt you create. And of course, people respect you less. Number 6. The negative gravity. The traffic was insane. This weather is terrible. My boss is the worst. You say it to connect, to be relatable, to feel understood. But actually, you're not having a deep conversation. You're just venting. And here's the problem. The human brain has a built-in defense system against negative energy. It listens, then it protects itself. When complaints show up without solutions, the brain quietly labels the source. Not as honest, not as real, but as heavy. Like emotional carry-on luggage no one volunteered to hold. Psychologists call this negative affect contagion. Emotions spread, and people instinctively distance themselves from moods that drain them. So the more you complain, the less people lean in. They don't feel closer, they feel tired. Think of it like gravity. Light energy pulls people toward you. Negative gravity pulls them down. And over time, something subtle happens. People stop seeing you as someone with perspective. They start seeing you as someone to brace for. That's where respect slips. Not because you spoke up, but because you never moved forward. Connection isn't built on shared frustration. It's built on shared direction. And when every conversation points downward, people don't argue. They just step back. Number 5, the 10-minute trust breach. It's just 10 minutes. You say it casually like it doesn't count. But time is not flexible, trust is. In American culture, time is a receipt. It shows who paid attention and who didn't. When you're late, you're not breaking a schedule, you're sending a signal. My time ran over, so yours can wait. Even 10 minutes does damage. Because trust doesn't measure in hours, it measures in patterns. Once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, 3 times is enemy action. Think of trust like a glass table. It doesn't shatter loudly, it cracks quietly. And the worst part? People rarely call you out. They just stop relying on you, stop inviting you, stop expecting much. You didn't miss the meeting, you missed the margin of respect. And no, traffic isn't a personality trait. Number 4, the Bobblehead Effect. You nod and nod and nod again. Uh-huh. Yeah, totally. You think you're being polite, engaged, easy to work with. In American culture, a little nodding is good. It signals listening, respect, presence. But constant nodding changes the message. Your head keeps saying yes even when your brain hasn't decided yet. Psychology calls this excessive agreeableness, trying to keep the peace by erasing yourself. And here's the problem. People don't read it as kindness. They read it as a lack of backbone. If you agree with everything, your agreement stops meaning anything. To their brain, this triggers doubt. Can I trust your judgment? Will you speak up when it matters? Or will you just mirror the room? That's why the yes man label is deadly. It signals low autonomy, low boundaries, low long-term respect, especially now. Because respect here doesn't come from harmony. It comes from clarity. A calm disagreement builds more trust than 100 empty nods. Listening is powerful, but having a position is what gives it weight. Try this. The next time someone makes a point, stop the nodding. Just look them in the eye and pause before responding. That silence is where your respect begins. Number 3, the humble brag trap. You post the win, but you wrap it in a shrug, like, didn't expect this at all. Still can't believe they picked me. Feeling grateful and exhausted. It sounds modest. It isn't. The human brain is very good at spotting intention. And humble bragging has a smell. Psychologists link this to the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with real competence tend to underestimate how impressive they are. They're too busy doing the work to narrate it. People who signal achievements constantly, they're usually trying to prove something. Not skill, security. Here's the deeper issue. Respect comes from confidence that doesn't ask to be noticed. Humble bragging does the opposite. It says, I want credit, but also, please don't judge me. That mixed signal creates doubt. If you were truly secure, why explain the win at all? Think of confidence like perfume. A little you notice. Too much. People back away. Number 2, the priority signal. You see the message, you don't answer. Not because you can't, because you're busy. But in a connected world, busy is rarely the full truth. It's a ranking. Every unread message quietly asks a question. Where do I land? When replies come hours later or the next day, the signal is clear, not intentional, but received. I got to other things first. Psychology calls this priority signaling. We reveal what we value by what we respond to quickly. And here's the part people miss. Silence doesn't feel neutral. It feels dismissive. Even a short response keeps the relationship warm. A delay lets it cool. Over time, people adjust. They stop expecting you. Stop reaching out. Stop investing. Not out of anger, out of alignment. Respect is a two-way street. If someone feels like a low priority, they stop treating you like a high one. You didn't say, you don't matter, but the timing did, and eventually people believe the clock. Number 1, the unsolicited boundary cross. You mean well, you really do. So you ask, a little too personal, a little too fast, or worse, you jump in with advice, fixes, solutions, before anyone asked. It feels like care, but it lands like control. Psychology calls this a violation of autonomy, the human need to feel capable of handling our own lives. When you help without permission, you're not saying, I support you. You're saying, I don't think you've got this. And that quietly lowers respect. Because adults don't want managers in casual conversations. They want choice. In American culture especially, boundaries are status signals. Respect flows toward people who wait to be invited in. There's a big difference between, I'm here if you want help, and here's what you should do. One honors independence, the other steps on it. Care without boundaries isn't kindness. So if no one asked for advice, zip it. Nod once. And let them drive their own car, because the fastest way to lose respect is grabbing the steering wheel from the passenger seat. In conclusion, which one caught you off guard because you've done it without realizing? Please tell us in the comments. Awareness is where respect starts. If this helped you see your behavior differently, hit like, subscribe, and we'll break down more hidden signals in the next video.